Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a beginning of the month for February Tarot Oracle reading. And Sagittarius, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Sagittarius, we still all have a little bit of Sagittarius in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is Sagittarius in, that's where this energy shows up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. Please be advised that this is a general or collective reading, so parts may or may not resonate. Just take what works for you. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it right now, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted, what was going on in your life back then, it may give you more clarity as to your situation now. Right, we're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. And we have the star. Sagittarius, you're a star, in case you didn't know it. So this energy is talking about following your North Star, basically. And this is, she has her right foot dipped in the universal pool in this water, and she's adding her own special, unique flavor to that water, and then transmuting that and pouring it onto the earth. And so this is representing the 5 points on the Pentacle star, and this is the North Star. So this is saying, this is when someone is following their North Star, the North Node in the horoscope, and that you're bringing, you're meant to shine and shine away. This is the underlying energy for this reading. So we have the Pentacle coming in, the Ace of Pentacle. And so this is a gift from the divine and from the universe, saying that it's a reward for following your North Star. And this is your internal forces. This is when your internal forces are when you're asking the question, what if I do this and they do that? What if they do that and if I do this, kind of energy? It can keep you in a loop. And the reward is for staying on your divine path and following your North Star. And we have the Hangman. So it looks like you've been in a meditative state, which is a great place to be in this energy that we currently have right now. It's really beneficial, actually. And so the Hangman's hanging from the tree of knowledge until he gets the knowledge that he wants. He's hanging upside down to gain a totally different perspective of his situation. And then when the light around his head is, the aura is bright, he has the information. That's when he comes down and he takes action. Excuse me. So this is representing immature competition. So this is the only card in the tarot where it features adolescents like this, and they're all fighting with each other. So this kind of energy is talking about immature competition. As you mature, you start to realize that even if you're playing against another team, you're really in competition with yourself. If you can, especially if it's a really important game or something and you're in a sport, and you can really keep your shift together and do the very best that you can be, even under the pressure. And then you also are a good team player, you're going to, the team's going to have a better chance of winning. This is kind of, think about grade 4 girls, narcissistic cheerleaders. They can see the other team was better and they should win, but they want to win. And so they'll do anything to win. And if they don't succeed, their mothers will. We have this energy here of the Lovers coming in. Excuse me. I swallowed the wrong way here, and it's going to be a little bit here. So the Lovers is talking about a divine partner coming in. We have the sun behind this, that's representing God. And this is the clouds in between could mean that you haven't met this person yet, or it could just mean that you don't know them that well. If you have met them, you may have met them, but it's saying you haven't had a relationship with them before. And also, it's saying that, you know, before you make a real serious commitment with someone, get to take the time to get to know them. And then we have the shift disturber. This darn shift disturber has been coming into a lot of the readings, no matter how much I shuffle them out. There he is again. So the shift disturber is a walking contradiction. Like, we don't quite understand what he's doing here. He's left 2 swords planted here, and he's sneaking off with these 5. He is looking over his shoulder. He looks like he's a thief, like he's on tiptoes sneaking around, except he's in broad daylight. So if he is a thief, he's a white-collar crime thief that does his work by daylight, on paper, basically. This does represent thoughts. The swords represent your mental intelligence, your thoughts, words, and so that could be written and also verbalized. He's moving forward but looking backwards, so he's not looking where he's going. And look how dangerously he's carrying those swords. Like, who carries swords like that? You know, if he trips, what, you know, it's going to be a disaster. And so why did he leave these 2? You know, he might be sneaking off. Oh, well, we don't want to fight, so I'll sneak off with these swords. But he's leaving 2 planted here. So when the villagers behind here wake up, maybe they'll get in an argument and say, you stole him, no, you stole him, and then they'll get in a fight. So I don't trust this energy. It can be like just kind of goofy energy, but it also at the same time is someone that, you know, it's one of those people that when you hang out with them, you end up having to do cleanup after. It's that kind of energy. And we have the, this is talking about the 2 of Swords. And this is talking about possibly having a closed mind or just not being able to find a solution to the problem. And it's kind of because you're only kind of focused on 2 things, this or that, my way or the highway. That's the kind of energy. And we have the new moon here. We just had a new moon on the 17th. It's the 24th, I think, today now. And when I post this, yes. And this energy of the new moon was actually in the sign of Aquarius, which is talking about the needs of the group over the needs of the individual. And it's opposed by the Leo energy, because Leo is exactly opposite on from the sign on the horoscope wheel there. And your opposite sign on the horoscope wheel has an effect on you. And so the moon is was about having this Aquarian energy and being more about the group, but really needing at the same time to look after yourself first. And so it's kind of an energy of not knowing what to do, basically. And it's kind of, it's only can be this or that. But yet there's all sorts of solutions that could be there. This person is leaking energy from the body language on the bottom here. Their feet are turned out, which represents leaking energy. It's exhausting them being in this energy. And also, if you notice, the crossed arms are over the heart, which means that they could be protecting their heart. I'm wondering if this shift disturber, this energy can also be, it came up in a reading, you know, because he has 7 swords, that the 7-year itch. And I'm wondering if this is representing this energy here of one of the lovers here. And this is the energy it's left it's left you in, that kind of energy. We'll look into it in a little bit here, but I just want to get the first cards down. This is saying, though, because this person is protecting their heart, and you notice the right hand is crossed over the left, and the right hand is representing the masculine energy of moving forward and wanting to take action and not wanting the intuition involved, just like let's, you know, or the feelings involved. And it's kind of like, I'm just feeling like off with your head kind of energy. And so I don't know, maybe these are the 2 swords he has left. And now she has them. Remembering in tarot that the characters that are represented in the tarot cards are archetypes. So this could be a female in their masculine energy, and this could be a male in their feminine energy. So this new moon energy, there was also an eclipse. And eclipses can have like a huge effect on us. And it was a solar eclipse. It was partial. And when there's a solar eclipse, the sun's blocked out for a short time by the moon from the perspective of Earth. And eclipses, their energy tends to stick with us for about 6 months. And the energy is usually, it will cause a profound change in your life, like such as breaking up with someone or something like that. I'm just picking up this energy here. And so this is talking about, this person's blindfolded, and it can represent not wanting to see something or not being able to see a way out, but it also can represent wanting to go inward and use the third eye instead of your physical eyes. There's a saying, because you have eyes you can't see, and that's because we can only see about 4 or 5% of the spectrum of light. And the rest is like, it's still there, but the human eye can't detect it. So it's kind of like when people think they're seeing the whole picture, you aren't. And you're, so it's kind of talking about, sometimes you need to use your intuition to be able to come to a creative solution instead of just those two choices that she's really limiting herself here. And then we have the energy of, yes, wanting to go. The rough water here in the tarot represents volatile emotions, and this is saying I want to go off to calmer waters and have to dig deep to do it, because this boat can't push off until the pole reaches down and pushes it off. Sometimes this represents like there's no baggage here. And there's just this figure with a small child. And so I feel like a lot of times this is representing healing some of your inner child issues. And, we have these 2 swords here. So I feel it has, and 2 swords here. And I feel like it has something to do with this energy, what's happened here. And so this is saying, I want to move off to calmer water. And this represents the energy of God, like getting back on your divine path here, so that you can be a star again instead of being in this position. And it's like you have gone inward here. So this is your identity and yourself, how you see yourself right now, is wanting balance and not really feeling 100% balanced, hanging from the tree of knowledge until you want that balance. This is talking about your abundance and self-worth. I feel like this lover energy could be that you felt like you had to compete with others for your lover's attention. And maybe this is in your communication, how you communicate. And I feel like you could have been raised, but maybe by parents that were arguing a lot, fighting. And that kind of made your mind, like your inner child, your subconscious mind, kind of is used to that kind of energy when it comes to love, which is, this is your emotional foundation from like when you were growing up. And I just feel like there is some cheating, fighting, immature energy in your parents' relationship possibly. Or you could have had a lot of siblings and had to like fight for attention, that kind of energy. This is creativity, romance, and children. And so this energy is talking about, I feel like you maybe thought this was a relationship, maybe that you would have children with someone and it was going to be like that, it was romantic and everything. And you found out maybe that this person was sneaking around behind your back. And this is I'm just getting it like this energy was disruptive in your everyday life, like never knowing, is he going to show up when he says he's going to, or is he going to be like an hour late? Is he, that kind of energy, he or she. remembering that the figures can be the other sex. But it's like you want to row off to calmer waters. Like this was I feel like an exhausting energy here. It's almost like, oh, like you can't really see a way out, really, kind of energy. So that's the internal forces that you're going under. Yet this is saying that there's going to be some sort of reward for staying on your path regardless of this energy and making the choice to go off to calmer waters with God, kind of that kind of energy. And then we have the high priestess is highly intuitive, and she sits next to the throne with God, and she's sitting in between these two towers of good and evil. This is Jesus and the devil, basically. And she has the crescent moon here. So it's again talking about this new moon eclipse energy. Oh, I'm speaking. There we go. Yawning is a great way of clearing energy. It's just kind of like, I don't know, it's like an energy of just being exhausted from the mentally and physically, just from the sheer never knowing what's going to happen around you kind of energy, not, you know, like not being able to count on things. And so this is the external forces coming in. It's basically saying, like, with this moon energy and this eclipse energy, now is a great time to do what you're doing, going inward and reflecting on what you need to do. And that's going to put you in a much better place if you use your intuition, instead of just trying to logically find an answer to whatever the situation is that's bothering you. Oh yes, and then the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth comes in. So help you God. Once you go off to calmer waters with God, this is what happens. You get the truth. And so once you have the truth can set you free. This is in the position of your partnerships, marriage, and commitments. So maybe you maybe have suspicions there's something been going on, but you want the truth, like, and you want to know for sure, okay, what was going on. And then we have the Queen of Wands energy coming in. And so this represents the Sagittarius energy, the fire, the element of fire. And it's talking about you have the sunflower, so the sunflower follows the sun, follows God's path, basically. And this queen is considered to be one of the sexiest and natural beauty and a sunny disposition. She knows how to use this veil behind her, represents the veil between the spiritual and the physical world. And so she knows how to use her intuition as well as her logic, and to come to creative solutions to get out of this position. And she is passionate about what she does. She's considered to be fun to be with because she's not someone who worries a lot. She's also, she doesn't put judgments on people very easily either. She's got this little black cat. And a lot of people wouldn't have a black cat because they think, oh, they're going to be bad luck. But the Queen of Wands doesn't really care about that. She knows that she can find solutions to any problem. So she just kind of, whatever, I like the black cat, I'm keeping the black cat. That kind of energy. And then we have, this card is talking about someone who's standing on one shoreline. Oh, by the way, this is transition. I feel like you're not yourself. That's the energy I'm picking up. You don't feel like you're yourself. Like, this is the energy you're supposed to be in. And this is kind of like you're more like withdrawn and unsure, confused and irritated. I'm getting at the same time. And this would be more your natural energy is and this is a card of transition. And I feel like this is saying that you're coming back into your own. Sagittarius energy has had a lot of astrological influences that have made it really challenging over the last 10 years even. And so this is talking about getting back to your happy-go-lucky self. More of like seeing the bright side rather than the negative kind of energy, and not feeling so exhausted and worn down. And this is talking about standing on one shore. This is water, although it looks like it could be sand. There's ships sailing on this. It's just that the sun is shining on this. So it's like the yellow brick road, only water. And this person's thinking, I think I'm going to hop on one of my ships there and sail off. I'm ready to have something new. And this energy is also talking about the 11111 portal. And this is like a phenomena that comes up when the universe is really doing its best to communicate with you. And, you know, when you're in this kind of energy. And so if you're the 11111 portal, I'm just going to give you an example. You'll know when you're in it, because this is kind of how it works. Like, you're sitting at your computer and you glance at the clock and it's 11:11 and you're thinking, oh yeah, I have that appointment at 1:30. I'm going to look up on the Google map and I'm going to see what the address is, and also how long is it going to take me to get there. And it's at 111 11th Avenue, and it's 11 minutes from your house. And you're like, well, that's kind of weird. And then, you know, you're getting ready, you're going out the door, and you glance at the clock and it's 1:11. And you're like, oh, good, I've got good time to get to my appointment. But then there's a detour, and the license plate in front of you on the car has 111 on it. And it's kind of, when this is happening, it's the universe telling you, hey, watch your thoughts, because you're really manifesting at a very high level right now. And you want to watch that you are thinking about where you want to go, not on the challenges or the problems in getting there. And so you'll notice after that, when you see 11:11 or 1:11, you start checking your thoughts. And you'll be like, hey, I was having a negative thought there, and you don't even realize it. So it's kind of an interesting phenomenon, and it's been coming up a lot in the readings lately. And so it's saying, really listen to your intuition. Be aware of what your intuition's trying to tell you. This person has their right hand on, they've crossed through this portal, and they have their right hand on this wand, saying they're ready to take action to move to another shore. Or, you know, like, this can actually mean that you want to actually physically change your location where you live, or it could just mean wanting to go on a vacation or get away. And quite often, for me, it represents that you were in a couple and now you want to be single. And so you've made that decision. And I feel like that was the decision that you were challenged to make here. And so this could be past, present, future, but I feel that this energy is draining the shift out of you. But this new energy is coming in. The Chariot represents that now that you get back, you go with God and you get back on your divine path. Now all of a sudden, you're starting to feel like this. And you're like a star again, and you're going to be rewarded with pentacles because you're on your divine path now. The Chariot represents someone that's on their divine path, on the North Star. And this is the energy of your career, your reputation, and your public image, basically. And then we have, this energy here is talking about the Three of Cups. There's 3 cups here that are spilt, and these 2 have wine in them, and this has some other liquid. This often represents that there was a third party involvement in your relationship, and this is external forces. I feel this is the energy of your lover, and they really regret what they've done, because you've moved on now. And so if you haven't, and I'm not telling you what to do, but the energy is just saying, like, you've had it. Like, and if this is you, you're standing there looking at this loss, and, you know, crying over spilt milk, and you're done crying. Like, you're just like, you're fed up, like you've had enough. And so this can, the best thing you can do is pick up these 2 cups and get into this new energy, heal from it, and then you will definitely attract a partner that's more divine for you. So it's saying This is not the only partner that you can attract, but you want to be in your own energy, like at your highest vibration when you attract a new lover. You don't want to, be like, unhealed and, be really down and and then have someone that's also in that. It's that, that's not, you're better off being single for a while and healing this energy and moving your life forward and getting back into your typical Sag energy and being a star and just dating if you want to date, that kind of energy. And so this is saying, pick up the 2 cups that you're going to have in the future, walk down the path, bridge over troubled water, go to your castle. If you're going to sell it, you're going to sell it. It's half dilapidated and half full. So it may be like, hey, I don't really want to live here anymore, because that was maybe where you and this other lover were living, and you just want new. You're on a new path. And we do have coming up in the energy, we have a retrograde in Mercury, and that's about communication kind of going awry. And a lot of times, but it's an awesome time for reflection like you're doing here and making plans to make a move. Because on March, that's happening on the 26th of January, Mercury goes retrograde, until about the 20th of March. So it's pretty much most of the month of March. And then, but on the 3rd of March, we have another moon. This one's a full moon, and it's in Virgo. And the Virgo energy is saying, get your domestic energy in order so that it supports you, so that like everything's neat and tidy, and you can find things when you need to and have your book work done, so that, and if you want to move on to new, that you'll have everything in order to do so. And when there's a retrograde, it's really good to revisit the past and look at, okay, what have I learned from this? How can I do things differently now? That kind of energy. So it's really supportive of a breakup, really, actually, if you use it correctly. It's not so supportive of starting off on a new adventure yet. Like, I would wait for sure, at least until, if you can, until the eclipse on the 3rd, because that one is going to be a lunar eclipse. And it's in the sign of Virgo. And it's like, get everything cleaned up, make some plans, do some research. And then when that new eclipse comes in, it will give you more clarity, because this one will be a lunar eclipse, so the moon is blocked out. So that I feel like any of the hidden secrets that you didn't get around to, or anything left over, that you'll have way more clarity again. And also, the thing is about eclipses is that they can cause you, if you're really hyper focused on the weak, and it usually is the weakest area of your life, and that seems to be this energy here, that you're so hyper focused on that, you need to be, and it's good to be, but recognizing to reserve judgment, because you're not really seeing the whole big picture when you're that focused on one area. So just, being really patient. And this is also talking, I feel this person's thinking about coming back in. They really regret what they did, because they didn't, maybe you've given them a chance in the past, and this wasn't the first time that this has happened. So the thing is about retrogrades is that's when the past energy, that's when a lot of people from your past will come in. And so what you want to do is make sure, like, that if you're reconciling with someone, it does mean that there's probably forgiveness that needs to happen, and that and so forgiveness paves the way for reconciliation. But just because you forgive someone doesn't mean you have to hang out with them anymore. You can forgive them and not even tell them you forgive them. The forgiveness is for you to let go of the energy. This card has a lot of illusions in it. It's talking about, like, it looks like these two children are playing, and there's someone watching over them, and they're playing with these flowers in the cups. But when you look at it more closely, you realize this is a gnome and this is a little lady. And when you look at her, she looks young, but and on the back here, here, it's an old hag. And so the old hag is like turning away from the offer of the flowers here and saying, no way. And the young ones, she's too nice. She's like, yeah, okay. That kind of energy. And so this is about, have you learned your lessons here? Or do you need a repeat? Because the old hag is like, no way. I'm not accepting this cup. And the cup has white flowers in. These white flowers represent innocence. But the energy here is actually, these are datra. And datra it's a beautiful plant with beautiful white trumpet-shaped flowers that flowers a lot. But it's from the nightshade family, and it's very toxic if you ingest it. So you would never let children play with it. But they're not children anyway, but still, it's not like a plant that you really want around, like you don't want to be like breathing it in and that, because it can make you feel sick. Shamans sometimes use it to produce visions, so it also can create hallucinations and that kind of energy. But the shamans know what they're doing. They've been doing it for since ancient times, and trained to do it. This is not something you would let children play with. So it's not an innocent flower after all, even though it is white. And then this woman she's wearing a white glove, which is saying she doesn't want to get her hands dirty, but she's too nice to say no. The old hag is like, she's flipping him the bird. And then when you look at the person that's looking over them, you realize, oh, they're not looking over them, they're walking away. It's just someone walking down the path. So it's just like, this card can be talking about being, sometimes we think of the past and we think, oh, it was so wonderful. But then, when we revisit it for a few hours, we're kind of like, oh yeah, now I remember. And so this energy is saying, be careful about, doing things from the past with someone like that's been a lover from the past. You're better off with a lover that you haven't met yet, in this new energy, with you feeling like this rather than this kind of energy. Especially if it's someone that's just, I'm getting this is just someone who's really, really immature, and I think he thought that he was just going to get away with it again, that kind of energy. I'm saying he because of the figures, but it could be the other. This could be a woman and you could be the man that's like, I've had it, like just not into this anymore. I feel like you're ready to move on. And the 111, like, notice that, because you'll be like, oh, what was I just thinking about? And it might be like, oh, it's something negative that happened. And then that's kind of reminding you, like, you want the truth of what went on. So I feel like once you hear the truth of what really went on, that you won't have any illusions anymore. If you're enjoying this reading, please do give it a like and comment. I'm going to clarify it for those of you who want clarification. I want clarification. I want to see what was going on here. Like, I feel like you deserve better than this energy. It gets here, like, this is the incoming energy, so long as you do what you're doing. And you couldn't be, like, this is the perfect time. If you're going to be in this energy, this is the perfect time to be in it. It's really like the astrological energy really, really supports this. So I'm going to clarify with my oracle, Tales from the Vector, and that's Tails. And I have something else that can maybe empower you a little bit here. This cycle of the eclipses is very similar to 2007 energy. Actually, on March 3rd, 2007, the second eclipse has almost like identical, like planets in the degrees and that. And it's sort of almost like a repeat energy. So if you are thinking right now, what were you doing on March 3rd in 2007? That might give you a lot more clarity. And when I was looking this up and I realized, oh, okay, I'm going to look that up. What I was doing was I was starting this oracle like right around March in 2007. And I thought, well, that's kind of funny, because I started it then, and there's 64 paintings and they're big dragons, and a lot of them. It took me a while, and I had them I used to teach seminars, and I had them at my seminars, the cards, and I had, I went to psychic fairs for several years and had a lot of fun with them, but the whole deck wasn't done. I didn't have all the paintings done. And then in 2020, I finished all the paintings. But now I have time. I'm working on building my channel, and then I want to get this deck done, and I want to get it out there. But I'm writing the information. I have the paintings done, but now I want to make sure I have the information right. So on these cards that I'm using, there's numbers on them, and that represents the energy, or the numbers on my of the paintings in my gallery on my website, and that's talesfromthevector.com. And that's TAILS. I will put them in the order they appear here, so you can look up which paintings they are if you're interested in going there and taking a look. And it's from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. All right, so here we have a whole new world. This cycle's over. It's time to be a star again. That's really funny. It's pretty clear. And then we have this energy of the moon. Oh, whoops, here we go. The moon and reckless abandon with a W. So this is talking about, this is the best time for you to start getting back in this energy here. And just know, Sagittarius, that a lot of Sagittarians are feeling this way. The energy has just been a lot, if you talk to people, the other Sagittarians, it's like, man, it's just been one thing after another for the last 4 or 5 years in particular. And so it's just kind of like, what a relief kind of energy. I can be myself again. That's the energy I'm picking up. And then this is the Libra energy, being like, this is you. You're mature enough to be married and settle down and have children right now. And you want to be more in a mature relationship. So this could have even been someone that you met like when you were younger, and you started, dating when we're in high school or something, and you've just outgrown each other. Could be that kind of energy. But this is saying, just so you know, when the signs come in for the horoscope, I'm not saying a Libra did it. I'm just saying this, I'm looking at the energy. We have a little bit of every sign in us, so we can learn from all the different energies. And Libra energy is the scales of justice coming out. And it's talking about being a mature adult that's ready for a true commitment. One that you would have children with and get married and all of that kind of energy. And we have, this is about pride. And like I said, when you, like the narcissistic cheerleaders know that the other team won, but their pride won't let them see it. It's kind of like that kind of energy. And a lot of times people will be in an energy of it's either perfect or imperfect. It's all or nothing. And you'll see that. Some people, they'll have their house immaculately clean or a total mess. And it's kind of that kind of energy, this or that you can get into. And I feel like, as I said again, that this energy, I just feel like you had in your, when you were growing up, you had a lot of competition, and that's kind of what you're used to. And I feel like this person is actually not a bad person. They're just goofy, Virgo energy. This is this is talking about this lover energy. It's about lack of communication. I feel like, and as I said, Mercury's going into retrograde, right? And so I feel like the whole relationship was retrograde. The communication just wasn't that clear. And this also is representing the energy of the new moon prior. to this, the first eclipse. And so you may have really been feeling this energy then. And of course that retrograde, that Virgo is the Virgo energy is about, that's the moon coming in, the full moon on the 3rd with the second eclipse there. And there was a blind spot here, a scotoma. So this is talking about you can't see, everybody else can see it, but you can't, or you can see it and everybody else can't see it. So this can talk about, it's a kind, I just am getting the kind of relationship where there was some really good qualities about this person, and other people couldn't see it because what they were seeing is them running around on you kind of energy. And we have dissension here with friends like this who needs enemies. So this could be, oh, I apologize for the banging out there. I have construction outside there, and this is, but with all the banging out there, it's kind of like it's time to do some construction on your life here to be into a place where you really want. This is saying with friends like this who needs enemies, what you might not know is maybe the people that were around you that you consider to be friends were more like sharks, some of them. And so there's some sort of energy around that. Dissension is when conquer and divide kind of energy. So someone else might have been in competition for this person and they slipped up. They do, I'm getting though, they do regret it. This is their regret, not yours. You're like, you can have them. That's the kind of energy I'm picking up. You're done. Temperance, I'm getting like you're 90% there now. And so this is talking about devotion to your divine path, getting back into this energy, being a star. Here we go. Again. Oh. Like, I just feel like you've just been so tense. Like, it's just been so, like, this is your daily routine. It's just like, what the hell is going to happen next kind of energy. And then it is about the lovers. And so it's about using your intuition here. Because I feel like it won't be long, and because you've done a lot of healing here. But the truth is coming in about this partnership. And what it's saying is disruption in your life, because what's fun for some is not fun for everyone. So I think that kind of speaks for itself, what we talked about earlier, that there was some sort of cheating. And this is representing the Aquarius energy of that moon, the new moon that we just had on the 17th, the first eclipse. So it's talking about the needs of, Aquarius wants us to look after the needs of others, but you need to, and right across from here, I'm just thinking like the Leo energy is like, no, what about me? I want my energy looked after. And Leos have pride, and they have prides. Leos are natural born leaders also. But when they have a family, it's a pride. And I feel like this is saying you need to actually be in this energy for yourself right now. And then you'll be, I feel like you've been looking after the needs of other people too much. And now you need a rest from it. It's kind of that energy. Like trying to be almost like, it's okay, I'm all right, but you're not. Like you need to have like you need your space right now. And the High Priestess is coming in again here, saying that you listen to your intuition. So you'll probably be experiencing the 11111. If you have, just give me a comment. I'd like to know how many people are. Sure has been coming up a lot in the readings. And this is about performance. So the Emperor, that energy, I feel like, you notice there's like 2 here. And I feel like it won't be long at all before like an Emperor energy, someone that is like all about performance, someone that will recognize, hey, this person's ready to be in a relationship, and they're mature enough to handle it, and they'll see all your qualities, and they'll see you as a star. And it won't be a question of this energy here. And then this is, you can anticipate your future. I feel like when the Fool goes on their journey, if they're on their divine path, then of course it's a foolhardy journey. But if they're on a foolish path, this is saying you're going on a foolhardy path, but this person is in regret. Like really, I feel like they didn't really, this impulsive energy, right? And this is, look at, this is saying in 26 you're going to be a superstar and you're going to have way more harmony in your life. I like this for you. I mean, I feel like you're over the worst of it anyway now. And you'll just see, and then look at the bottom, we have the foolish energy. So you have both there. You know what I'm saying? Which one would you rather be on? Which journey would you rather be on? It's the universe has a funny, my cards are just like this. There's always something at the bottom or a surprise somewhere in them when I'm doing the clarification. I do hope you've enjoyed this reading. Give it a like and a comment if you have. And good luck with this. The Wheel of Fortune is turning, and like you are moving forward. So I feel like when I do this next reading, it's going to be in a few days. I'll have them out for the full moon eclipse, to see, once we're closer to that energy, how it's affecting us. Bye for now, Sagittarius.